Good morning, dear students. Today we shall start the chapter Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. This is purely a theoretical chapter, so please concentrate more on the modules. In the first part, we are going to deal with electron emission and photoelectric effect. Coming to the name of the chapter, Dual Nature of Matter and Radiation. The name suggests that it deals with the duality in the nature of matter, that is, the particle nature and the wave nature. Various experiments done by scientists has proved this fact. We have already studied that light has dual nature. If we are observing phenomena like interference, diffraction or reflection, which we will be dealing with in the chapter optics, we can find that light behaves as a wave. But the phenomena of photoelectric effect cannot be explained using the wave nature of light. So, here we are going to find the fact that light behaves both as a wave and also as a particle. Coming to electron emission, we have already seen that free electrons inside the metal surface are held together by attractive forces of the ions, and the electron comes out of the metal surface only if it has got sufficient energy to overcome this attractive pull. So, a minimum amount of energy is required for an electron to come out of the metal surface, and this minimum energy required by the electron to escape from the metal surface is called as the work function of the metal. The work function is denoted by the symbol phi. So we have seen in this process of electron emission, every atom has a positively charged nuclear part and negatively charged electrons around it. Sometimes these loosely bound electrons with a little push or tap flies out of their orbits, which is known as electron emission. There are three types of electron emissions. The first one is thermionic emission. It is a kind of emission which is possible if the energy responsible for the emission is in the form of heat energy. The second one is known as field emission. In this type of electron emission, the electric field, which has a potential energy associated with it, pushes this electron out from the metal surface. That is, the emission will be a field emission if the energy responsible for the emission is in the form of electric energy. The third type of emission is known as photoelectric emission. When metallic surfaces are illuminated by ultraviolet radiation, then electrons are emitted from them. This effect is known as photoelectric effect, or this type of emission is known as photoelectric emission. By absorbing energy from the electromagnetic radiation, the electrons can escape from the attraction of ions in the metal. So far we have discussed three types of emissions. Thermionic emission, that is by supplying heat, sufficient thermal energy can be imparted to the free electrons which enable them to come out of the metal. Second is field emission, that is by applying a very strong electric field of the order of 10 raised to 8 volt per meter to a metal. Electrons can be pulled out of the metal as in a spark plug. And the third type of emission is known as photoelectric emission, which occurs when light of suitable frequency falls on a metal surface. These photo-generated electrons are called photoelectrons. Hope you have understood about the three types of emissions and a brief description of dual nature of matter and radiation. Thank you, dear students.